Today's topic Consignment Accounts by V. Sirisha, Associate Professor, Government City College, Nayapur. Introduction to Consignment Accounts. What do you mean by consignment? Consignment business is an extension to the direct sales system. Unlike direct sales, indirect sales are made through an agent who is appointed on commission basis. This system of indirect selling is known as consignment. The person who is making the sales through an agent who has appointed on commission basis, this system of indirect selling is known as consignment, where one person sends goods to the other person to be sold on commission basis. The person who sends the goods is called as consignor or the principal, and the person who is receiving the goods is called as consignee or the agent. The relationship between consignor and consignee is that of principal and the agent. So this we mean by consignment business. Consignment business is the act of giving over to another person or agent's charge or custody or care any material or goods, but retaining legal ownership until the material is sold. This is known as consignment. The word consign means to send, and therefore the consignment means sending goods to another person. The owner of these goods, the ownership remains with the consignor, that is the person who has sent the goods. He is the sender of the goods. The ownership belongs to the consignor. The agent only sells the goods on behalf of the sender, on behalf of the consignor, according to his instructions. The sender of the goods is known as consignor. Already I have explained it in the beginning. And the agent trusted with the custody and who is taking care of the goods is known as the consignee. Meaning of consignment. What is the meaning of consignment? Consignment is the sending of goods by one merchant to another merchant, either within the country or abroad, for the purpose of storage and their ultimate sale on commission basis. The risk of the sender himself. The risk belongs to sender himself, or in simple words we can say that consignment is the dispatch of goods by the principal or the owner or the consignor to the agent for the sale of the goods on commission basis. This is known as consignment. And also we can explain it like this: the person or the firm sending the goods is called the principal or the consignor, and the person who is receiving the goods is called as agent or the consignee. The accounts relating to consignment transactions are called consignment accounts. For example, a book publishing company may send books to an agent or bookshop at another place for selling them on commission basis. Here, the publishing company is called as consignor and the bookshop owner will be called as an agent or the consignee. Coming to the difference between consignment and the consignee. Here, consignment is neither a sale or consignor nor a purchase to a consignee. Even though consignee receives goods, he holds them on behalf of consignor for sale. Therefore, a consignment differs from sale. According to the meaning, consignment In consignment, when the goods are delivered to the agent by the owner for selling purpose is known as consignment. Here, the goods will be delivered to the agent by the owner of the goods for selling purpose only. This is known as consignment. Whereas in sales, a transaction will be between two persons in which goods are exchanged for price and the ownership will be transferred. So here the transaction will take place in two persons where the goods will be exchanged for a price, that is known as sales. On the basis of parties, consignment will be different from sale, that is parties involved in consignment are consignor and the consignee. Parties involved in sale are seller and the buyer. And on the basis of relationship between the parties in consignment, principal and agent relationship will be there between the consignor and the consignee. Who is consignor? The person who is sending the goods for sale is known as the consignor, and the person who is taking the goods for the purpose of selling on commission basis is known as the agent. So the relationship between them will be the principal and the agent relationship. Whereas in sales there will be creditor and debtor relationship. Now coming to possession, on the basis of possession will be transferred, but ownership is not transferred until they are sold to the final customer. Whereas in case of sales, both are transferred. Possession and ownership will be transferred with the transfer of goods. So this is, and also physical possession will be there, and the risk. Here risk, another point is risk. So risk is attached to the goods will be passed from the seller to the buyer as soon as the transfer takes place. Therefore, any loss incurred is to be borne by the purchaser. But in case of consignment, any loss or damage to the goods in transport or storage is to be borne by the consignor, even though the goods are physically transferred to consignee. Whereas in case of sale, it is not like that. In case of sale, risk attached to the goods will be passed on from the seller to the buyer as soon as the transfer has been taken place. So now regarding the return of goods, in case of sales, the buyer cannot return the goods to the seller except for the special reason such as damage or wrong quality of goods. But in consignment, the consignee can always return the goods to the consignor if they cannot be sold. Sale price. Coming to the sale price, on the basis of sale price, say in case of sale, the buyer can sell the goods at any price as per his wish, or he can use the goods for himself. But in case of consignment, the consignee has to sell the goods as per the instructions given by the consignor. So regarding on the basis of these things, consignment differs from the sales. Features of consignment. Coming to the features of consignment, we can list out few features of consignment transactions. That is, the consignor sends goods to the consignee to be sold on commission basis on behalf of consignor, and the consignor enjoys the profit or bears loss resulted on consignment business. So whatever the profit is there, that will come to consignor, or if at all any loss is there, that has to be borne by the consignor himself. Now coming to the third feature, the consignee sells the goods on behalf of consignor, and he will be getting commission for the sale of proceeds. So whatever the sales the consignee has done on behalf of consignor, for that he will be getting the commission. Now coming to the next feature, the consignor bears all expenses and losses on consignment by himself or consignee. The consignor has to bear all the expenses or losses whatever has been incurred on consignment. Coming to the next feature, while remitting the sale proceeds, the consignee will have the right to deduct his commission and his expenses on consignment. So sales proceeds will be done after deducting the commission and expenses which are incurred by the consignee. The remaining will be remitted to the consignor. So that is known to be as the proforma invoice. So here consignor will be sending the proforma invoice, that is the record of goods sent to the consignee, while the consignee sends account sales. Account sales is nothing but it will be including the details regarding the goods sold, sales expenses, commission and advances and balances due. So all these things will be recorded in the account sales. So this is and also the possession of the goods will be transferred from one party to the another party in consignment. The consignor is responsible for all the risks, all the expenses and all the damages associated with the consigned goods, and the relationship between the persons in the consignment is that of principal and the agent. Consignor will be the principal and consignee will be the agent, and the possession of the goods will be with the consignee but not the ownership. Ownership will be in the hands of consignor. Profit or loss on sale of goods have to be borne by the consignee. Not consignee. It has to be borne by the consignor. So these are all the features of consignment. Coming to the objectives of consignment. Objectives of consignment is nothing but to make large consignments and increase sales volume by attracting customers. To attract the customers beyond the area which has been the produced area will be different from the distribution area. So to increase the volume of sales, the consignment business will be carried on. And next objective is to launch a new product and to create and capture market for the same. That is nothing but to attract more and more customers. The new product, to launch the new product and to create more sales and to capture the market is the main objective of consignment. And the next objective is earning higher revenue from a different geographical area for the same product. The product will be produced in one area, and for taking the product to another different geographical areas, this consignment business will be carried on. And the main aim of every business unit is to earn profit. So to earn higher incomes, to earn higher revenues, it should be distributed in different geographical areas. The same product will be distributed in different geographical areas is possible only with the consignment business. And coming to the next objective, for the growth and expansion of the business, consignment will be adopted. And now coming to the next objective, sustainment in the domestic and sustainment in the international market. So the sustaining of the business in domestic and international market, consignment business is advantageous. And the next objective is to increase sales by utilizing the talent and expertise of the consignee. Consignee as an agent will be acting as the acting as the person to increase the sales by his ultimate excellent talents. The expertise talent what he has, with that he will be increasing the sales of the business with this consignment. Coming to the advantages of consignment. Advantages of consignment will be to the consignor as well as to the consignee. Now we will discuss about the advantages for the consignor. So here consignor can increase the sales and sales margin if the consignor is assigning the responsibility of goods to a skilled and experienced consignee. He will be able to increase his sales margin if at all the consignor is responsible, and if the consignor is fully skilled, and if the consignor is more experienced. So it is advantages to the consignor. And the second advantage to the consignor is the ownership is with the consignor. He may at any time reclaim those goods in case of any default from the consignee's end. If at all consignee is making any default, he can reclaim the goods from the consignee, because the ownership is in the hands of consignor. The owner of the goods is consignor, so the consignee has to listen to the instructions of the consignor. If he makes any default, then he can reclaim his goods. Now coming to the third advantage to the consignor, the inventory holding cost are lessened as the goods are sent to the consignee and in his possession. So here possession is in the hands of consignor. So inventory holding cost will be less. So now coming to the next advantage, if the sellers want to increase their sales and do not have time to promote their product or look after the customers, they prefer hiring an agent to look after the same. So here, to increase their sales of the goods, the consignor will be to promote his product. He can send them to the agents who are nearer to the consumers. Now coming to the next advantage, the consignor as well versed with the buyers. Here the consignee is well known to the buyers. He is well known to that particular market, and he is well known of that product. He may sell the product very fast than the consignor. Hence, this will lead to the product expansion, better market share, and also increased sales. So these are all the advantages to the consignor. Advantages to the consignee. Here the consignee also has the advantages of consignment. Here consignee has to be paid only for the goods which has been sold, not all the goods, only whatever the sales he has made. So whatever the amount of sales he has made, so that amount only he can send it to the consignor. The consignee sometimes does not have to pay for some expenses if it agreed as per the agreement. So as per the agreement between the consignor and the consignee, he does not have to pay for some expenses which will be directly paid by the consignor. If the consignee is well versed with the product, he may sell the goods faster, thereby increasing his share of revenue. So the more the sales he will be making, the more commission he will be getting, the more income he will be getting, the more share of revenue he will be getting. So this is advantages to the consignee. Coming to the last is in case of huge demand, he may earn higher and higher revenue, as he need not incur any expenses of the shipping also, not to worry about the lead time. So these are all the advantages to the consignee. Disadvantages of consignment. The disadvantages also belongs to consignor as well as the consignee. So disadvantages are the consignee is not the owner and does not face any monetary risk. So he may not take this agreement seriously, hence he may not promote sales. Sometimes consignees will not be responsible, will not be skillful, and will not be experienced. So in this way, if the consignees are not well versed with the sales, then the loss will be incurred to the consignor. So this is one of the disadvantage. Next one is the consignor pays huge shipping charges by shipping a large amount of inventory. Instead of paying for the smaller inventories to the consignor, the goods may or may not sell. So if the goods does not sell, he suffers a huge loss as he remains to be the owner, and they still have to count it as a part of his cost assessment. So here, if the consignor, the large amounts of inventory have been shipped from one place to the another place, this charges will be, so here the smaller inventories will, the payment for the smaller inventories will be less, but the payment for the larger inventories will be more. So here more amounts will be paid for the transport and the goods may not be sold. In such cases, if the consignee is unable to sell the large amounts of shipped consignment goods, then the loss will be incurred to the consignor. So this is one of the disadvantage. The next one is that consignor has to keep waiting for the payment, created uncertainty in regard to when and how much will be received the sales proceeds from the consignee. Until there is a sale of all or some of the goods, the consignor has to wait for the payment, leading to an imbalance in cash flows. So at a time he will not be receiving the total amount for the goods he has sent, the total goods he has sent. So in this way he has to make a sales proceeds, and it will be an imbalance in cash flows. Immediately he will not be getting the amount for the total goods he has sent on consignment. So this is another disadvantage. And the last one is the consignor sells the product directly into the market. He may earn comparatively higher revenue by removing the excess profit margin of the consignee. So these are all the disadvantages of the consignee. Coming to the disadvantages of consignee. Here the consignee carries a bad reputation in a particular market. He may not be able to sell the goods so easily. So here, if he has the bad reputation, then the consignee cannot sell the goods in the market. So this is one disadvantage. And coming to the next one is, if the consignee, he incurs a holding cost for that inventory either in his godown or in his stores, that inventory may or may not sell. So in case of unsold goods, he suffers a loss. So holding cost becomes more than the commission he receives from the consignor. So in this way he will be suffering the losses. This is another disadvantage. Now coming to the next one is, consignee repeatedly fails to sell the goods in time. He may either be discarded as an agent or would receive a lesser commission. If he is failing, then he will be discarded as an agent and he would be receiving very less commission because of unable to sell the goods. Last disadvantage is, if there is no sale of goods and there is a possibility of it getting deteriorated, then the consignee may have to buy them. So in some cases, if he is unable to sell the goods, consignee himself have to buy them. So these are all the disadvantages for the consignee. So this is end of the class.